Stunning, magnificent, breathtaking, spectacular. Just so many adjectives to describe this view. Even the Scottish cattle on property agree. At 2,700 feet above sea level, feathered friends don't need to fly too high to get a bird's eye view of the Wildberry Lodge. It's in Leicester, about 25 minutes west of downtown Asheville.
So this is the Blackberry Suite.
Glenda Cahill and her husband opened the bed and breakfast 23 years ago.
In the wintertime, the tops of the mountains, you can see through the trees and see the sunshine behind, so it looks like the mountains have a buzz cut. But in the fall, the leaves are beautiful.
But after Helene, business has not been so beautiful.
People still call me and ask if they can get here. The roads are still closed. They think the roads are still closed. They think there's no restaurants open. So getting the word out about things that are open is really important.
About 12 miles east, Katie Dalton knows the feeling.
My locals have been what's kept us afloat, but the tourism just went away. And that's the thing. We need to have people come back into town and spend their money, because all of our small businesses are really hurt from it.
She's the owner of one of those small businesses, Fusion Day Spa in West Asheville.
I eventually will have this room set up so we can have all local vendors.
So all North Carolina-based products?
Yeah, is what I'm going to try to do.
The massage therapist is really looking forward to spring, summer, and fall, looking for tourist traffic to heat up, like this facial steamer.
Hopefully we get everything up and running and going, hopefully it gets back into step and we actually can have business open full time.
Back at Wildberry Lodge.
This is our third teepee, but I think I love this one the most.
Innkeeper Glenda Cahill showed me the Native American teepee guests can use for quiet time and storytelling. She echoes Katie Dalton with this message for potential guests who might be on the fence.
Yeah, we're definitely open and we're ready for people to come, and we're just waiting on you.
Mike Dunstan, Spectrum News 1. You know the weather's brutal when you can clearly hear the wind and see bits of snow in the air. 18 degrees with a feels-like temp of -2 on this day in late February. A tour group rescheduled because of the weather.
People on my tour, predominantly white.
And you're about to get a personalized,
this is our 10-year anniversary this year,
but abbreviated bus tour with Hood Huggers International founder Dwayne Barton.
Well, this part right here is a gym.
A historian of Asheville's black communities.
They tore it down around 1975, but this was one of the only high school in Western Carolina for blacks.
First stop, what's left of the Stevens Lee School turned into a community center.
Some students had to travel as far as 10, 20, 30, 40, 80 miles each way to come to this school.
Wow. Inside, a museum of sorts with artifacts and reminders of the school, and a past where equality of opportunity was non-existent for black residents.
Most of the teachers here had their master's degree, some even had their PhD. But because of Jim Crow segregation, they couldn't go outside the segregated area.
After the school, a stop outside a church where Dwayne points out a hidden history where you see those high-end condos.
We're on the east end side of town, and I'm pointing to what was once the slave quarters.
Inside St. Matthias Episcopal Church, he shares a story of James Vester Miller, a formerly enslaved brick mason who built this house of worship from the ground up.
Once he get out of slavery, he opens his own business, Vester Miller and Sons, and this is one of his first structures he's built in the late 1800s. It's one thing to talk about it, but to see the people's work and to see what they was able to accomplish, that's why I like to take people to places.
And he took us to one last place.
The Peace Gardens was started in 2003, and like I say, this used to be a real rough neighborhood, and it was also trashed out.
For more than 20 years, Dwayne has taken that trash and turned it into this outdoor art gallery of sorts.
And we also like historical places that they've been tearing down. We'd go grab a piece of it, a window, a door, a sign, and then incorporate it into the space.
The Hood Huggers tour business is about Dwayne's love for the city, where his family's roots date back more than 200 years. School and community groups have been keeping his business going, but he's also mindful of other business owners who are hurting because of Helene.
Part of the tour was to connect them and drive people to those particular places where we know businesses and people trying to do things to add some more capacity so they can grow. We need people to come back. We need people to help support the community.
Mike Dunstan, Spectrum News 1.
Heartbreaking.
Words may attempt to describe this destruction.
Complete and total devastation.
But Charlene Hammond still can't wrap her head around what she sees.
This is mind-boggling. It was nothing like that's ever happened before, literally. And we couldn't conceive or fathom the devastation, or the amount of water, or how fast it came through.
She's lived here 11 years.
I don't want to move because I couldn't afford to move anywhere, especially in Buncombe County.
Her parents called this home for 30 years.
My dad worked so hard to buy this place and pay it off.
Now, Hammond and her husband Lee must clean up the family home, taking things minute by minute and leaning on the community.
We get up every morning, we eat breakfast, we pray. We go out, we bring back water and gas for everybody. Not just for us, and everybody does the same thing.
We met the Hammonds through Ryan Geist.
Trying to slow down and just hear their stories and know their name and get to know people.
He lives near Beetree
But the river just passed over this whole road.
and showed us the landscape, forever changed by flooding downstream from Beetree Lake, a water source for the city of Asheville.
This is like crazy clean compared to what it was the other day.
Geist got to know the area and the people in the hours, days, and weeks after Helene.
Most of the time you couldn't get past this because there'd be a helicopter on the road. They'd land right here and they were pulling people out. They've rebuilt that whole road in the last 2 days.
He reacted to the immediate needs he saw after Helene in the floodwater when he walked outside.
Even after days after the water went down, it was still like up to my stomach, to get through the water to build this line for them.
This was one of many spots where Geist said he lended a hand.
These neighbors were trying to find ways across over here just to get them food. I had some ropes and pulleys and stuff, and so we hooked one edge to this barn, and since then one of the search and rescue teams built this little bridge for them, but got across and built an anchor on the big tree, and we just had a static line with pulleys that they could pull food and water across.
It's tough to take it all in. It's hard to describe the magnitude of the destruction. This is just a sample. And take a look at this. This is Beetree Christian Church. This has been a staple of this community for generations. I even went to Vacation Bible School here once when I was a kid.
It's heartbreaking. It really is.
Charlene Hammond says her dad attended this church.
And every time the church was open, Daddy would go to church.
This picture from the Images of America Swannanoa book by Anne E. Chesky Smith shows the sanctuary under construction decades ago. Now you can see into that sanctuary, debris pushed against the church, a tree inside.
You've got to become the church. And I can tell you that the people that have helped us and brought us supplies and cut down trees and cleared out mudslides, they've became the church.
We saw the good deeds through roadside donations, help from the people next door who have become more than neighbors.
This little trailer park has been the best community I have ever lived in. We have literally became a family. We're going to rise from this.